Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or find a way to lose. Hey, listen, I don't know what you have planned this weekend, but you need to tune in to this Top Rank card. Let me tell you something, man. Top Rank, they're on the job. They're trying to compete with old Matchroom and Fast Eddie, with the silent assassin, Al Heyman, and they're trying to keep Top Rank on the map. And I'm telling you, this Jared Anderson versus Rudenko undercard is no joke. These heavyweight bouts that they have on that undercard and the main attraction, someone's going to get tranquilized. I'm just telling you that right now. And in addition to that, when you look at the other fights they have on the undercard, very interesting. You got Bruce Carrington fighting again. You got Nico Ali Wash on there again, Abdullah Mason, and just a few other names. But that Bruce Carrington and Nico Ali Wash, man, have something special going on. But nonetheless, they're back in the ring this weekend. But what I want to talk about are these heavyweights, and I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm telling you right now, man, y'all don't want to miss this. You do not want to miss this. I'm surprised that Jared Anderson's gotten back in the ring so quickly, but it is what it is. He wants to get work in. So as a result, he's going to be in the ring. But Jared Anderson was just in the ring in July, took on Charles Martin. If Martin would have had just a little bit more activity, he could have stopped Jared Anderson. I mean, Martin obviously can crack. But Jared Anderson, been boxing for a long time. He has a high IQ. He's strong. And I just think he had a little bit more of the youth on his side. As a result, he was able to get that win over Martin. But when he goes in against Rudenko, this is what makes it interesting, right? Like, when you talk about Jared Anderson and you talk about Rudenko, some people are wondering, why are they putting Jared Anderson in with this guy Rudenko? And other people don't know much about Rudenko. But when you look at Rudenko, man, let me move this over a little bit for you, right? 35 wins, 21 of those wins by KO, 6 knockout. He lost 6 times, 1 was by KO. But when you look at his height over here in the right-hand column, he's 6 feet tall, 73-inch reach. And you look at how many bouts he's had, 42. But the thing is, when he turned pro was in 2006. So Rudenko is someone who they're putting here as a seasoned pro who's always a threat. But really, they're putting him here for Jared Anderson to clip him and just knock him off to keep Jared Anderson moving up the ladder. There's a reason why they didn't want him fighting Kossobutsky. I don't care what they said. Kossobutsky is a live dog in the fight. They didn't want him in there with them. But when you guys are saying, okay, who the hell is Andriy Rudenko? Well, first of all, he's from Ukraine. You know those guys can fight. But he's been around. But when you scroll down, you take a look at his 6 losses. And let me slide over so you can see the names. And we start looking at the names of the guys who he lost against. First of all, Lucas Brown. Let me make this a little bit, slide this over for you. Right here. Let me show you. Okay. He lost against Lucas Brown. He lost against Huey Fury. Okay. And then when you come up, you see he lost against Alexander Povetkin. He lost against Ajagba. He lost against Jalil Zhang. So when you just listen to those names that I just rattled off of people who he lost against, it lets you know he didn't lose he lost to elite opposition. So the fact that he lost, I don't think we should sit there, man, and just consider him a tomato can. He didn't lose to your average Joe Blow. He lost to guys who've gone on and done great things and are doing great things in the heavyweight division. And when you look at Jared Anderson, I think the uniqueness of this matchup, style-wise, is just the fact that Jared Anderson, again, is the much bigger opponent in the ring. 6'4", so he has 4-inch height advantage, reach. He has about an 8-inch reach advantage. I mean, he just has all the advantages in the world. My question is, where is he at mentally? We've seen him there when they did that last series on him with Roy Jones and training, and he started crying, and he feeling all the pressure. Not everybody's built for it, and I have to commend Anthony Joshua for. I ain't gonna say he's been carrying the heavyweight division, but I have to commend him for getting to the point to where he's reached and not having necessarily a breakdown in training camp. At least nothing that the public is aware of. We saw him have that meltdown after losing to Usyk the second time, but nonetheless, my concern is, where is Jared Anderson going to be mentally? So that being said, Rudenko and Jared Anderson, this is something just to kind of set the stage for Jared Anderson to continue looking spectacular and to be ready for the elite. Now, what makes this whole fight card so interesting, in my opinion, is when you really start talking about guys taking risks. And when you talk about this guy, Kossobutsky, and him fighting Ajagba, let me tell you something. Whoever wins the fight goes on to fight guys like a Sanchez, a Luis Ortiz, maybe an Andy Ruiz. They go on to fight big names. The guy who loses, man, he falls off. So one moves up the ladder, the other one reverses. Now, Efe Ajagba is one of those guys who, when he first burst on the scene, he was out here terrorizing people. Remember, Ajagba is the guy who got in the ring and his opponent got the hell out. So that guy didn't even get paid for that fight. Like, he didn't want nothing to do with him because he was intimidated. But you look at the reach of Ajagba, 85 inches, he's 6'6", extremely powerful. He has one loss, he lost to Frank Sanchez, who Frank Sanchez is an elite fighter, just not getting enough opportunities. But when you think about where Ajagba is in his career, I kind of still think he's in between styles. I don't like the way he's fighting now under Ronnie Shields. But at the end of the day, he's trying to make a change that'll make him more effective in the ring. But I personally think he got a gift decision the last time out. But they're putting him in there, right, with a guy named Kossobutsky. And let me tell you something. Look at this man's record. Now, I do believe Kossobutsky is kind of there to be hit, but he's there to hit you too. And when I look at the reach and everything, it doesn't really show on here, but my understanding his reach is about 76 inches. So that means Ajagba has a huge reach advantage. Power-wise, it looks like they both can crack, but it depends on the type of opponents they've had in front of them. But going forward into this weekend, this is a fight that Ajagba should be able to win, but I wouldn't bet on it because Kossobutsky is in there to keep moving up the ladder. He's not coming to lose. And I'm just not sure Ajagba is fully confident with his new style. And at the end of the day, you just can't come in the ring with a guy who's looking to take your head off and plan on just trying to jab and outbox him and go the distance. That's a horrible recipe, in my opinion, for victory when you got someone who's in there. And he's not thinking about going the distance. He's thinking about tranquilizing you. So that being said, Ajagba, Kossobutsky, great fight. Not really sure what direction it's going to go, but both of these guys are trying to move up the ladder, and they don't want to reverse. Now, I'm going to tell you the guy who's the boogeyman. People just don't realize it yet because nobody's really talking about him. But I'm going to tell y'all something right now. You see, they got this guy running around here standing about 6'7" with an 81-inch reach. He is a problem. You see this guy right here? Bakadir Jalalov? He is a problem. A problem. Now, I think he's going to get in the ring this weekend. I think he's going to tranquilize his opponent. I think the opponent's going to be game, but I just don't think the opponent's going to be able to stand up against him. This man's a gold medalist. He's actually the guy who beat the guy who I think is going to be the next best thing in the heavyweight division, Ricardo Torres. Knocked him out. And you see what he's done as a professional. He's knocking out all of his opponents. And I think that's going to continue this weekend. When you look at a guy who's big, who's strong, he's from Uzbekistan, so you know those guys are durable, standing 6'7", 81-inch reach, and has crazy power. That's a recipe for disaster. If he was standing 6 feet tall, 6'1", I'd say he couldn't hang with the big boys. But the fact that he's 6'7", same height as Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, 81-inch reach, about the same reach as those guys as well. Young, hungry, and looking to get people out of there. He is a problem. He is a boogeyman. And I tell you what, when he gets in the ring this weekend with this guy right here, the Nigerian fighter, let me see how to pronounce his name, Onoriode, Ewarime, right? I probably mispronounced that, but you're tracking. He's standing at 6'7", not sure about his reach, but I would think had to be, 78 to 82-inch reach. And also just looking at his record, 20 wins and 19 KOs. He has 2 losses, both by KO. But when you scroll down and you take a look at who he lost to, okay, those 2 losses, let's see, the first one, he lost to somebody named Rodney Hernandez, okay? And the second one, he lost to Zhan Kossobutsky. So Kossobutsky is fighting this weekend as well. So the fact that he lost to Kossobutsky tells me that maybe he's just a guy who's getting in the ring this weekend and kind of betting on himself and rolling the dice, but he's kind of being fed to Jalalov. But that being said, we're going to see how it goes. But, hey, when these guys are running around here with 90, 95% KO ratios, it's hard to sit here and say that these guys are bums or tomato cans or they don't have a chance to win. When you're big and strong like these guys, it just takes one shot. But I think out of all of these guys, the one who has the most upside, in my opinion, the guy who has the most upside and who's going to be making a whole lot of noise in the heavyweight division is this guy right here. Pay attention. Let me expand this for you guys. Pay attention to this guy right here. I'm telling y'all right now, he is going to be around for a while. And y'all, if y'all don't know his name, you guys are going to learn him. You guys are going to get to know him very soon. Just pay attention. This guy, Bakardid Jalalov, he is the real deal with extreme power. And I just don't think anybody out there is going to be able to handle him, especially once he starts to really continue to develop, become more comfortable, and really start to evolve his style and work on his skill set, because he lives in the gym. He is going to be a problem. And for those people that are saying, no, they don't think so, the European fighters and the style is just not something that's really conducive to going on and for longevity in the heavyweight division. To that I say, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. You look at all these guys who have that similar European style, the Klitschko's, the Povetkin's, and even right now with Usyk, right? Those guys do very well. It's a very difficult style to go up against. It's a very difficult, unique style. These guys master it. They're very effective, especially when you're standing 6'4", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", and you're strong. It's hard to go up and deal with those guys. They keep the jab, they keep that lead hand right out in front, so that way it covers a shorter distance to travel to get to you. And that's why they sit there and jab, peck, and then sometimes they blind you with, boom, come with the big right hand behind it. Jalalov is one of those guys. If he was a 5'11", 6'1" guy, then I would probably agree with you. But now, when you're big like that and you have skill, you're a problem. But you look at the guy, what's his name? Nikolai Valuev, the Russian guy. How much skill did he have? None. But the man was over 7 feet tall. Okay? Hard to get in there and win a fight against somebody like that, unless you're Evander Holyfield, who got robbed, or David Haye, who I think just got lucky, right? But when you have skill on top of being 6'6", 6'7", I'm telling you, it's hard to go against somebody like this guy. But that being said, Jared Anderson, we're going to see where his head's at. This guy Rudenko, we're going to see if he still has a little gas in the tank. He's been pro for a long time. We're going to see. Kossobutsky, Ajagba, somebody's going to move up the ladder, someone's going to reverse. And over here with Onoriode, whatever his name is, I just butchered his name, Onoriode. And then against Jalalov, let me tell you, I just want to see a good fight, but I'm not optimistic that Onoriode is going to sit there, man, and get beyond round 4 with this guy Jalalov. I'm telling y'all right now, Jalalov is the real deal. And out of all these heavyweights that's bubbling up right now, Ricardo Torres, because we see a lot of them, I'm pegging him to go on and do great things. But remember, Jalalov knocked him out in the Olympics. Pros are different, but still. Torres, Jalalov, those are the two guys I think who are going to make it to the top. Jared Anderson, look, I like him. He's got skill. He's on his way. Top rank is behind him. But my concern is, where is he at mentally? Is he another Victor Ortiz? That's the question. Are we dealing with another Victor Ortiz? All the talent in the world. All the potential in the world. But just don't have it upstairs and starts to unravel. Time will tell. But I'm rooting for him. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Top Rank is risking it all this weekend for them 4 heavyweight fighters, man. It's actually 6 of them, 3 fights. But we're gonna see who ends up who rises to the occasion and goes on to move up the ladder. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. In the breeze.